Well, I am sure glad I got high. New Gundam Real Grade. This is one of the best real grades there are. The last handful they've done has been like kind of one up in the other, and this one comes so close. It's so very close to one upping the New Gundam. The last one that I think. Wait, no, New Gundam and then Xeon, and then the High New. I believe that's how it went. This thing looks amazing. They took the cues from the original design of the High New Gundam way back in the day, and they did it for the Master Grade version Kadoki, and they've done it here. But I think it's a little better. You got this really good two-tone blue in the fin funnels, which does mimic the shading that the pictures have, pictures have of the fin funnels, and the overall bulk. I love the bulky calves. That's very good. You got the gold coppery color, you got some silver all throughout the kit. It's just a great looking model. This comes to my one complaint with this whole thing, which actually has it in second place for my favorite real grade. Favorite one is the New Gundam. This guy's very close, but these fan funnels, because they use the same inner gray piece, which allows you to do the whole double hinging, so it looks like it's firing. They were used from the New Gundam, I'm fairly sure. And since the New Gundams are supposed to be in the side here and connect, completely different from the High New Gundam. So they try to use like the border around here and the inner part here. And they did try. They have these little like grooves and some tabs in here to try to get it all lined up and solid. It isn't though. It just isn't. Like it'll go in, and you think it's in there, but it doesn't take much for it to work its way out slowly. They won't fall off on a shelf. And I don't know what happened to the other fin funnel. Oh, here it is. It never got off the table. Yeah, so yeah, they come off. If it's on a shelf, it should be okay. I'm just gonna actually take these off because they're gonna all fall off, and I don't really want to deal with that right now. But let's just admire the overall body. It is great, and the articulation is also pretty great. Nothing super out of the ordinary for the most part, but the torsos are very nice with an extending joint, which I think the New Gundam did have. And the skirts also very nice, because they're very big skirts, so you might be like, oh, the legs are going to be impeded. They don't have to be, because you have a double hinge connecting the skirt on the front and the side. You just get that right out of the way, and then he can do his kicking. Also, bulky calves, very thick legs, but they got the articulation down with all these separating panels, so you can get a good deep bend. Even though he's really ready for a sprint, but he can do the acrobatics too. And nice solid ankles, which is what you need with a kit that is rather back heavy. Speaking of the back, I do have the bazooka clipped nicely onto the backpack. Just cover that up. The fact that the barrel extends and collects in place when it's extended, very, very nice. Really like that. And then I also have the beam rifle tabbed onto the bum. Just a little panel that opens up here, and you can close that up. And the little tab sticking up right there, you just get rid of that. Now they both have the holes all the way through the handles, so that the holding hand with the tab will be very nice and secure. You don't have to worry about them falling out of the hand or anything. You've also got some beam sabers tucked in the binders, which I always have a rough time getting open because it's double hinged, but there's not much room for leverage. Guess I need to grow my nails out, but they do come out. It's a little hard for me anyways. You got the shield, has a nice ball joint, pegs really solidly into this port, which is covering the extra beam saber, which just tabs in there. Now they didn't want to leave the other hand out in the cold since this has the beam saber. You got like a Vulcan here, and if you tilt, I'm going to try and zoom in on this. If you tilt the wrist articulation up, it extends the barrel ever so slightly. That's a nice little touch. I didn't think the kit really needed it, but I like that they added it. It's Just a little added thing they just like to do sometimes with real grades. Add little things you wouldn't notice. So overall, I'm really happy with this kit, and it is big. It's a big boy. If I show it next to the Strike Rouge, you can see the massive difference. Because Strike Rouge is about, you know, average height. So the High New Gundam is very big. But once again, my only complaint are these fin funnels, which just, as I said, they'll hold their position on a shelf, but if you try moving him, there's a good chance they're gonna fall. Maybe mine are just faulty. I have issues. Maybe I just need to thicken. I'm not really sure what I could thicken up, really. Maybe the tabs inside these parts here. Oh, I love this thing. These all move, but the outer one actually moves the vent. Once again, a nice little touch they didn't need to add. So yeah, I do really like it. I'd say it is my second favorite high real grade. If these had stayed in a lot better, it would be number 1, just under the New Gundam.